It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day. For a neighbor, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Hey, hi neighbor. How's it going? I got a speedy delivery from Rock Auto. Let's see what's in it. Wait a minute. I don't have a sweater. And I'm not changing my shoes. So once again, the good folks from Rock Auto sent me a box. Let's see what we got. Neighbor. By the way, I've been out of the garage for a while because I had to have an exterminator come in and get rid of those smileys that were floating around out here. He said it was an infestation, and he thinks he got them all, but he wanted me to stay out because of fumes and stuff, you know. So let's see. He gave me this stuff that no one ever knows what to do with. It's hard to get rid of. Some more of that. What is this? Well, I'll be. That's awesome. I know what that is. And this, oh, a bunch of red hockey pucks. And they always give you this. Finally, they gave me a cool one. Look at this. They give me a magnet every time that they send me something after I order it and pay for it and pay for shipping. But never really, that one's not bad, but then what? That's gross. I dig that one. Of course, it's bent. That's enough reason right there to order from Rock Auto. All right, so let's get all this garbage out of the way. Dig it. Body mounts. That's going to be I've never done this. I haven't done most of the stuff that I do here. And let's see what we got in here. It's ATP, whatever that means. So let's see what Mr. Feely brought. Or Feeney. If it was Mr. Feely, that's weird. I wonder if it was. Was it Mr. Feely? Gross. So, speedometer cable finally. I'm going to show you why. So this car, in 1978, there wasn't real computers. At least you couldn't fit them on a car. So it had cruise control. Fancy. To do cruise control on these cars, they had to put this guy on here, so you got a speedometer cable coming up from the transmission, and then one going from this whirligig had a vacuum line on it that went to the carburetor, and then there was all kinds of extra stuff on the carburetor to, you know, this would tell that how fast everything was spinning, and then it would just adjust to keep the same speed. I don't have cruise control anymore, and I don't want it because, well, I'm a guy and I'm a man, and this is a car, and you like that, you know. I ain't no sissy. So I'm gonna get rid of this because it's ugly. I had to keep it on because I didn't have a speedometer. Well, inside there it was all jacked up, and I had to put. Actually, I used some old rear drum brake spring parts to make it work because it was kind of stripped out in the. Anyhow, it worked. It still works, and it's right on the money accurate. But no more. I'm gonna get rid of this ugly nightmare and just run it straight up into the car, into the, you know, speedometer from the transmission. And that's why I got the new cable, because this is basically that cable cut in half with different ends on it. So now I got a long enough cable to go all the way in. So, new speedometer cable. Awesome. Super cool. Can't wait. This is kind of the thing. Get some of that shine off of it. Body mounts. Why is it blurry? Well, that didn't help. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. What's going on? Is it my eyes? I'm sorry. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, anyhow, these guys. Yep. There's some of them there. Probably all of them. I don't know. I just know that when I was underneath the car last year, I bumped something and it fell on my head, and it was gross. And it was the original body mount was just so far gone it fell out, and it's gone. So pretty much all I got to do is this. Piece of cake. So 1 and 2, and then those, and we're done. Also, I did not finish the shocks. I have not got my other shock yet. Hopefully Mr. Feeney, Mr. Speedy Delivery brings the next one pretty soon. So about 47 seconds into it, confusion is already ensuing. Quit calling me. Into this, a little bit of a confusion going on already, but that's because I'm dumb. So that's my opener. I'm gonna figure it out. There's directions. And this almost looks like my car underneath. So yeah, there's the subframe. There's where I put bolts and stuff. How hard can it be? So I think I'm getting a lot better take on it now. Just, I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, I think I've got it under control. You'll see. Let me show you. So here we go, under the car. This is the back mount. And looking at this back mount, I think I might really be in for it. Yeah. That thing is almost as gator skinned up as the back of my hand. That looks nasty. And it says on the instructions to use a lot of penetrating oil to get these out. Well, this is a long bolt that goes up into here. And there's no real, it goes up in there. It goes up in there. And there's the other mount. One on each side. There's no way to get oil up there. There's a little hole here that's going to be my intention right now. I think I'm going to just spray a whole lot of penetrating oil up in there, and hopefully I hit that and let it soak, because these are some big massive bolts in here, and if I break that off, wow, I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to break it off. And here's the second mount, but look at this. There used to be one here. It is not. And this is the one that fell out on my head. That explains the rattle going down the road. Well, there's an access panel, kind of, like up in here. I might have to take this fender off. No good at all. Obviously, I think it's time to change them. They're starting to change themselves. I just wish the rest of it would have came out, because that's going to break somewhere. In that little hole, there's a nut that I'm going to have to get to. Maybe I can get to it from in here. I don't know. I don't know. So on this front one, I did find better access, which is right through that little triangle hole there. Somewhere down there is the bolt. There it is. And I wasn't sure if that was it. I was going to have you guys watch it and let me know if that moved when I got underneath and wiggled it, but I figured I'd do this and just stuck a magnet on it. That's it. That's my bolt in the front. I mean, I'm going to soak this thing down with penetrating oil and let it sit for a day probably before I even try, because I don't want to break that off. That's going to be real hard to repair if I break that off of there. So I'm going to soak it. I'm going to use PB and WD and whatever else I can come up with. And I'm going to also try and get into that little frame hole in the back and soak it up too. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, look at that too. I'm having trouble sealing off my that guy. Look at that. I've got sealant on everything, and so I'm going to get a different water neck and try again. If that don't work, I'm going to change the intake. Yeah, that's how much I hate that. So down on the driver's side, on this front one, look, there's not a whole lot left, you know. Definitely needed to be done, so I don't feel bad about starting this project. I'm going to feel bad when the project's failing miserably on me. But it is what it is. I've got to do it. No one's going to do it for me until I ruin it, and then I gotta have to call someone to do it for me. Did I even get any on it? Maybe. I don't even know where that's going, but it's gonna drip out. Well, I got some in there apparently. I don't know if any of it hit the bolt. We'll try again. More. If some's good, more must be better. I like the straw in the WD better because you can bend it, kind of get her where you want it. I can't wait to lay in that tomorrow. But the problem with the WD can is that falls off all the time. But the straw is definitely better because you can bend it and make it, you know, like that if you want. I'm actually going to use that right now. Okay, so after about shooting 9.5 gallons of PB Blaster and WD-40 up in this hole onto that nut, I came down here with a breaker bar and actually turned this guy. Hopefully. It did turn, but I don't know because it's making a grinding noise up in there. Like the bolt broke away from the frame, from the body up inside here. But then I looked and I've got some gap. So that tells me that that's actually coming out. Well, remember that other mount up front doesn't exist. So this whole thing will try to come down. So I've got a bottle jack here holding this up, and this way I can adjust it and lower it as I need to, or raise it, and kind of keep everything under control. Because I need to get enough space to get, oh, there we go, that guy up in there. So I need at least that much space to be able to, I could probably get around from the backside and get in there, but this needs to go in here. And then this one goes on there. So actually I have to have this much clearance. And I do not. But I will. I'll make it happen. Now, when I'm editing this video, I'm going to turn the volume down, but you might want to plug your ears because this is loud, and dust is going to come flying at you, you know. It's okay. Don't get scared. Look at that. That's kind of a beautiful thing, ain't it? Except we're stuck in there. Now what? Probably have to somehow get that out of there. Well, there's your rattle. Alrighty. Perfect. Somehow I do have to get that out of there, huh? Come on, baby. Toast for me. I think it's supposed to fit through that hole, but it does not seem to be doing that. I scared it with those. Look at that thing, was ready to break, man. That is, I'm so lucky. At least on that one. But look at this thing. This was this is the body mount. This is what was holding her all together. Little blue Loctite. I'm glad they didn't use red. Although I think the 46 years of rust is probably tougher than blue Loctite. But look at that. There was nothing. This thing wanted to break here, I bet. Now I'm nervous about the other ones. Maybe I'll just change this one and call it good. Oh, it is coming down. And that's it. I'll get a little pry bar and see if I can a little bit on that. So I got a tire spoon and one of these. Let's see what I can do about prying that down a little bit. Maybe I can get that mount to fit up in there. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But this jack loose. I'm going to let it loose, but I'm going to kind of keep it there just in case. That's fun. It's going to be nice to get my fingers pinched in there. Looking forward to that moment. I might have to go in from the center. I don't know. I imagine if I get it, maybe I'll get a wedge to hold it like in place. Maybe I'll get it with this one. This one seems like it's got a little more bite and it ain't going to slip on me as easy. All right, there's the old one. Now, keep my fingers right in the target area. So then this goes up in there. Probably not enough room yet. I'll have to let this down. I think I'm hitting the jack. Let's get up in there a little bit better. Better bite. Push, push, push. Come on, baby. Man, that is close. You gotta go about another 1/4 inch. A lot of grit junk. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. Okay, maybe wipe that off on my shirt rag. Okay. And then that's got to drop down into the frame somewhere. At least it's in there. That's a plus. Now we'll see if I can get it to drop. It's got to go forward. Where'd I put that other bar? There it is. It dropped on in. That's what we wanted. Now if I can get this out of here. Get out of there. Yeah. It's stuck. Stuck. I don't want to start tearing that apart. What's going on here? Okay, that one's out, and we're up. Yeah, baby. All right, so this one goes and slides up. I don't know if you can see that. Can you? Yeah, see that? So this one slides up over that one. That little lip in there goes over that little lip out there, and then the bolt and the washer. And that washer is not going to fit, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go like this. What's the odds of that finding that nut up in there? I'm just trying to get it started. Okay. Kind of feels like it's not really in there. It does feel like it's in there, but it feels like that nut is loose up in here wiggling around. So I'm not doing anything else with that until I do the next one, because I want to Loctite this for sure. Because if anything here comes loose, well, these two bolts that I'm doing, 2 on each side, that's what's holding this whole car, the whole front of the car, connected to the whole back of the car. I don't want these to come loose. That would be bad. Blech. Okay. All right. It wasn't so bad. We did it. I got the mounts put in. That one. That one. It actually was not as tough as I thought. I cross-threaded that one over there getting it started. Over here on the driver's side, this one, I cross-threaded it just a little bit just to get it started. It was kind of like coming out at an angle. I don't know if the frame was tweaked or what. So all I did was I ended up pulling the bolt out. I had to clean the threads up a little bit with the Dremel. And then I put the washer and the lower mount all the way down on the head, so I had room to wiggle the bolt and get the bolt straight. Got her started and ran her right in. I did not do the front ones because they're a pain in the butt. I'm going to have to unhook the front bumper and disconnect a lot of stuff just to get that to wiggle. It is difficult to get in here with a pry bar and wedge. This was the hardest one, front driver's side. I got it though. I bloodied my knuckles a little bit with pry bars and stuff slipping, but it's in. So that's even if they're not good and if they're wrong, they're still better than the ones that weren't in there before. So these are the 2 front ones that I did not put back in yet. I will change those eventually. I'm just going to wait until I got more energy and I feel better. And this is what I took out of the back. That's what was in there. So, like I said, even I'm missing a few of them. That is actually, well, That is actually supposed to look like that. This one had a little bit more left on it. But yeah, pretty nasty. You know, it's like I did the old boy a favor. One of these things is not like the other, is it? Nope. So, like I said, I'm happy with what I've gotten accomplished so far. I'm not going to mess with the fronts because to do them, well, first of all, this one you can't see from this side. I have to take the battery out. This one, they're really not too bad. They're squishied, but I loosened it to see if, because you have to get a little wiggle in here and lower the frame, raise the body. Well, there's this, and then underneath here, the frame and the body are both bolted to the bumper, and those are rusted, thin, ready to crack bolts if I try and turn them loose. So I may just leave this for a little while till I get bored, and maybe in the wintertime. This is not affecting the handling or the ride of the car anywhere near as much as the back ones are. So there we go. I got a speedometer cable to do, the speedometer cable that I have to do. And I think that's good enough for a little while. Note, when disassembling, note the quantity and position of any shims that may have been inserted for body alignment. These shims will have to be reused to ensure proper body alignment. Well, this is what was left of these. And I didn't see any shims, but this might have been one. I'm not sure how I'm going to get that back in there. So, all in all, not as tough a job as I thought it was going to be. So on the 1 to 10 busted knuckle scale of difficulty, we ended up with 2 busted knuckles, 3 smacks in the head with a steel bar, and surprisingly enough, 0 eyeball debris, leaving us with a grand total of 5 on the difficulty scale. Intimidating when I got underneath there and started looking at all that rust and the nightmare that I was getting into, but you know, these guys, this needed to be done. They're junk. I mean, if you look at the difference in what was left, and there was no rubber bushing or washer or anything left on this one. The front ones, I'm not doing the front ones right away. It looks pretty involved. I'm going to have to loosen the bumper, possibly remove it. I hope not, and because that's behind all that plastic and garbage. And then there's other frame mounts and you know, things, bars, bolts, nuts, rust, lots of rust. So I really don't want to get involved in that. This isn't going to affect my handling near as much as what the ones on the back were. I'm not even talking about handling. I'm talking about just a matter of safety. Those bolts were, look at what was left of them. You know, they weren't, let's see. They weren't too far from just breaking. And the bolts, there's 4 bolts there that are holding that subframe to the body of that car, and that's it. You know, a couple of good bumps and breaks, I don't know, maybe it would have never broke, but why risk that? So when the other shock comes in, eventually I will replace shocks in the front, and I'm probably going to wait till winter to do these front guys, if I even do them at all. I'm not too concerned about it, but I think it'd look cool up in there with the red. That's why I bought red, because, you know, red and black. Shocks, I'm definitely going to change. I'm glad that Exterminator got in here and cleaned out those smiley face emojis. They were really starting to get on my nerves. You know, they're just wise, smart. So that's that. Thanks a lot for watching. If you do like the videos, if you don't like them, I'm sorry. And if you do like them, hit the thumbs up, maybe. Maybe subscribe, because I'm always going to be doing stuff like this. And eventually I'm going to be doing something with the garden. I'm going to be doing concrete videos. I promise you. It's just I'm waiting on the weather so that I start pouring concrete. That's just the way it goes. I need to get out there and start making some more money. So thanks for watching, and God bless.